Powered by the Montana Television Network. Montana This Morning continues on Montana's News Leader.
Senator Al Franken apologizes after a woman says he forcibly kissed and groped her. I'm Hannah Doba with what President Trump now has to say about the Democratic senator.
And closer to home, Montana's budget gap finally been plugged. Coming up, what both Republicans and Democrats are saying about the emergency budget plan. Good morning and happy Friday, Southwest Montana, 6:30. Missy is off this morning. Matt Elwell has our forecast in just a moment. Our top story, Minnesota Senator Al Franken, a Democrat, is the latest public figure to be accused of sexual misconduct. Senator Franken has apologized for inappropriate behavior and says he'll cooperate with the Senate ethics investigation. Franken is facing stiff criticism following accusations by a Los Angeles radio personality. CBS's Hannah Doba is in New York with more.
President Trump is weighing in on the latest high-profile man to be accused of sexual misconduct, Minnesota Democratic Senator and former comedian Al Franken. The president overnight tweeted in part, "The Al Frankenstein picture is really bad, speaks 1,000 words." And to think that just last week he was lecturing anyone who would listen about sexual harassment and respect for women. The picture the president is referring to, a photograph that shows Franken before he was a senator, with his hands on the chest of a sleeping woman. That woman, Leanne Tweeden.
I was violated. I just felt like, he betrayed my trust.
Tweeden, a broadcaster and model, was on her way back from a 2-week USO tour with Franken in 2006 when the photo was taken. She says earlier in the trip he forcibly kissed her while they were rehearsing a skit.
He stuck his tongue down my mouth, and I remember I pushed him off with my hands. I just remember I almost punched him.
Franken released a statement that said, among other things, quote, "There's no excuse. I look at it now and I feel disgusted with myself. It isn't funny. It is completely inappropriate." Both Republicans and Democrats were quick to denounce Franken.
They're serious allegations. They need to be investigated.
It's just unacceptable behavior.
Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are calling for an ethics committee investigation. Franken says he will fully cooperate. Hannah Doba, CBS News.
Now, Tweeden says she was inspired to speak out after hearing Congresswoman Jackie Speier recount being sexually assaulted as a congressional aide. Speier is leading an effort to combat sexual harassment on Capitol Hill. Story we're going to continue to follow, Matt. Meantime, it's 6:32. 27 snowflakes after the original 3. It looks like it's backed off a little bit.
It
now.
has. We're looking out the window.
Yeah, we have a window here. I'm not making it up. Yeah.
It does look like things are just going to be exactly like that. There'll be a little patches of snow. Things will back off. Then we'll see another patch of snow. That's what we're going to have to deal with. Most of the snow is going to be focused into the mountains of southern Montana. So if you're traveling along area passes, that will be an issue. The wind will be an issue as well. So visibility may be down if you're in a few of those bands of snow. We're not seeing much on radar. We typically don't this time of year with that light snow, just doesn't show up on that low-level radar. Temperatures holding into the 30s. It looks like we'll see little pockets of snow here and there for the valleys. Again, the mountains and mountain passes will pick up most of this. We'll take a look at your forecast for the Cat Grizz weekend coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Matt. Now 6:33 on this Friday. It took until 1 o'clock yesterday morning, but lawmakers and Governor Steve Bullock were able to wrap up a special session of the legislature in just 2 days and come up with a plan to fill the state's $227 million budget hole. MTN's chief political reporter Mike Dennison was there when lawmakers adjourned, and he also spoke with Governor Bullock about the results.
The state Senate called it a night at 12:36 a.m. Thursday, and the House finished up a half hour later, after voting on the final bills of a budget plan that includes $76 million in spending cuts, $95 million in fund transfers, and a $30 million charge on the State Workers' Compensation Fund's investment portfolio. Shortly after the House adjourned, Speaker Asti Knudsen told reporters that majority Republicans accomplished what they set out to do at the session.
The fact is, Governor Bullock called us in here this special session with no plan. So Republicans stepped up with a plan. We got here, we delivered options to the governor to balance his budget, fix this problem he's got, and we did it without raising taxes on hardworking Montanans.
The GOP did reject the Democratic governor's proposal to raise the state lodging and rental car taxes to help balance the budget. Yet other than that disagreement, Republicans adopted most of what the governor proposed.
Given the fact that I came in and said that I think that we should all probably walk out with a solution that will certainly reduce some of the services that they had already appropriated earlier, but also with transfers and revenue increases. We came pretty close to the mark.
The biggest new twist from Republicans was a bill that gives the governor the option to negotiate a new contract with CoreCivic, the operator of the private prison in Shelby, and thereby retrieve up to $32 million in state funds paid to the company in the past decade. Bullock said he's not committed to a new private prison contract, but will certainly look at it if Montana needs that money to forestall damaging cuts. The governor said he'll likely veto a bill passed by Republicans that requires the state to furlough certain workers to save $15 million. Yet, overall, Bullock said he's generally pleased with the outcome of the session, especially the fact that GOP lawmakers agreed to take steps to avoid much deeper cuts in services.
At the end of the day, walking out of a 3-day legislative session, I think Montanans can have some confidence and assurance that where we ended up for the services that they expect, we're a heck of a lot better than where we walked in on Monday, and immeasurably better than where Republican leadership wanted to be just mere 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
Now, Governor Bullock says he'll start implementing those cuts next week. In other headlines, a man charged with deliberate homicide for allegedly killing a baby in Bozeman has made a motion to dismiss the charges due to lack of evidence. 22-year-old Brandon Moss was charged in October of 2016. The motion he filed to dismiss the charges claims that there is lack of probable cause in the case. Gallatin County Attorney Marty Lambert responded saying he does have enough probable cause and has requested a hearing on the matter. Moss's trial has been set for February. He is currently in the Gallatin County Detention Center on a $350,000 bond. Also, the Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services has unveiled a new proposed regulation on the state's medical marijuana industry. The rules include procedures for testing all marijuana and marijuana-derived products before they're sold, as well as labeling and security requirements providers will have to meet, and a statewide tracking system to follow where every plant comes from. Earlier this year, state lawmakers approved a major reform to the medical marijuana industry and ordered DPHHS to create rules to fill in the details of these changes. Agency leaders say they work closely with other states that have expanded marijuana regulations.
We've already received some comments on the rules that have been real valuable. To get all these different perspectives, I think that will make the rulemaking process and the final drafts of the rules even that much better.
Now, DPHHS will hold a public hearing on their proposed rules on November 30th at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. If you'd like to look at the full proposed rules, there's a link on our websites. DPHHS leaders say they hope to finalize the rules and put them into effect by next spring. Well, it's the busiest time of year for the Gallatin Valley Food Bank, and the food bank needs some help. Just a week away from Thanksgiving, the food bank says it's short on turkeys. Starting Sunday, the food bank will be delivering Thanksgiving dinner boxes. Of course, turkeys are the most important part of that Thanksgiving meal, but the food bank needs about 1,500 of the birds to provide dinner to families in the valley. Right now, the turkey count is just over 1,000.
Turkeys are huge. They truly are. Like you said, that's the most expensive thing for folks to go out and buy. And so I so appreciate the generosity of our community that I feel like the word gets out every year and the turkeys start pouring in the door.
Now, to learn how you can donate, visit us online, kbzkkxlf.com. Well, in spite of bad weather and fires, visitation numbers continue to rise at Montana's national parks this fall. The latest report on Glacier Visit covering October traffic shows Glacier's visitation was up by more than 11% from the same month last year. More than 84,000 people came through the gates. Totals also pushed Glacier's annual visitation mark. There's a chance the park could break the 3.3 million mark, and that would set a new record. Now, Yellowstone National Park was also busy in October, but thanks to some early season snow, not as busy as it had been in recent years. According to Yellowstone's public affairs specialist Morgan Worthen, nearly 212,000 people visited the park last month. That makes it the third busiest October, behind 2015 and last year. So far in 2017, the park has hosted almost 4.1 million visitors, which is second only to last year's record numbers. According to Worthen, the park has an almost 20% increase in visitation in just the past 5 years. We're going to take a quick break here on Montana This Morning. When we come back, more headlines. But first, let's take a look at what's coming up at 7 on CBS This Morning.
Hey, good morning. Ahead on CBS This Morning, we'll talk with Republican analyst Dan Senor about what's next for tax reform after the House passed the Republican bill. And singer-songwriter Chase Rice on his wild journey from college football to country music with pit stops in NASCAR and as a contestant on Survivor. We'll see you right at 7.